I need some advice. So I'm in my dating era and I went on a second date with this guy, and the first date was really, really good and the second date was really, really good. The second date, I went back to his house, which is something I don't recommend. You shouldn't do it, but
she did it, right? Women, guys, never follow even their own advice. Forget about listening to men. Forget about us here shouting from the rooftops how to fix dating. They don't even follow their own advice, right? This is why all these dating coaches, life coaches, divorce coaches, manifesting coaches, this is why all of them have learned that in order to win money, you have to lie. And this is why they talk about black cat energy and manifesting and you're the prize. Because if they tell women the truth, stop being a 304, they wouldn't earn a single penny. Because women don't follow their own advice. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Channel, welcome back to the desert. I'm gonna ask you to not scare off the guests by being so angry before the video even starts. There you go. You look better when you smile. Don't think that triggers the feminists, but Ampu has no problem with it. So, gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into this not very bright blondie, and let's see her story and a couple more. And afterwards, we have an article. Please like and subscribe. Now, let's continue.
Which is something I don't recommend. You shouldn't do it, but we've been talking consistently for a good few weeks. The first date was like hours long, like really, really long time. Plus all my girls have my location, so like I felt fairly like comfortable doing it. And we had like a nice time. It was like good. We got intimate, which again is fine, 2 consenting adults. Like, you know, it was all good. We were safe, great.
It's not fine. And consent is not the only thing that should be taken into consideration. Because there could be a lot of consensual things that are still not morally right. But these women, guys, let's not pretend as though they are moral. The modern women are resembling literal animals by the day. They are becoming animals without any sort of reason whatsoever. So yeah, I'm not gonna get all moral dealing with this blondie. But guys, I also love, I just love how when she goes to a restaurant or wherever they went, she sends her location to the girlies because, oh no, he might steal me. That almost never happens. Like, you probably have more chances of thunder unaliving you on the street than some men stealing you on a date, right? Like, if I want to steal you, I'm gonna steal you regardless of if your girlies know where you are, okay? I'm gonna steal you regardless. Hope you know that. Hope you think about that when you go to sleep. I'm gonna steal you regardless if I want, alright? So she sent her little location to her girlies, but then she went to shack up with this guy in his bedroom. And that doesn't raise any concerns? My hell, guys. So tired of these women.
Like, you know, it was all good. We were safe, great. He lives 30-second walk to the station, like literally. You come out of his flat, you turn right and you walk down the road and it's there. Like, you can basically see it from his like flat. Like, said bye, gathered my things, we both walked to the front door, and he literally just like hugs me. I think he kissed me and was like, oh, like, let me know when you're home. And it really threw me. I don't know if it's a good enough reason to not, like, for it to bother me. But in my head, I'm like, I'm a grown-ass woman, it's not that deep, I know where I'm going, like, it's right there. But on the other hand, I'm thinking like, it's a second date, we've just been intimate for the first time, and you can't even walk me to the station.
No. You're not getting a walk to the station, you dirty, stinky, low-tier human. You're a 304. You just... Okay, this is why I'm insulting this woman, alright? Oh, Hidan, you're so mean. No. Guys, I'm just giving this woman what she wants. Ain't that what they want? Oh, respect our choices. I do. You want it to be I'm gonna say it, right? Screw the algorithm. You want it to be a sex doll. You are a sex doll. You don't get no walk to the train station. You chose this. Guys, I'm not going around calling women left, right, and center 304s or you low-tier human. I don't. But when they choose to do so, okay, I respect that. You want to be a low-tier human? Congratulations, you are. Because a sex doll is less than a human, alright? You don't deserve respect. You don't want respect. You just went to have S3X and give your body and give the most intimate part of your body and soul to some dude, you know, from 2 days, right? You want to be used. You want to be an S3X toy. So there you go. You don't get no walk. You don't deserve it. You deserve to get spit on the way out the door, right? So you should be thankful you haven't. You dirty 304. But now, guys, let's continue. Let's not get mad, alright?
I've been intimate for the first time, and you can't even walk me to the station. Or even downstairs, you can't even walk me to the front, like the front of the frickin' building. Like, you walk me to your door and that's it. Like, it really bothered me. And now, because of that, I'm looking at him differently, and we plan to go on a third date, but also he's really starting to annoy me with his replies. So I don't know.
So the reason why this happens is, again, because no matter how brainwashed these women are with the whole S3 actual empowerment, deep down inside, they're still women. They want to be loved, want to be cherished. You know, guys, believe it or not, women have a good nature to them. I know we have forgotten about this with modern women, but they do. At least they did in the past. Like, women actually, in theory, are beautiful human creatures that are deep, that are more emotional than men, that are more pure than men, that are, you know, delicate little flowers. That's what women ought to be. That's what their nature incites them to be. This is why she feels bad, because at the moment she's not a flower. She's a used condom. That's what she is right now. She's a used that, right? And so she feels dirty, as she should. But yeah, she deep down knows that that is bad. She did something bad. It shouldn't be that way. She will be way more happy with a loving man who loves her and uses her body right. But she herself doesn't want that. She doesn't want the good man. She wants the bad boy that smacks her behind and uses her like a toy. So no reason to feel bad. No reason to feel sympathy, should I say.
His replies. So I don't know if I'm going to go on the third date. Like, it's a shame, because I did really like him and I thought that we were like getting on really well, and the reason I was intimate with him was because I thought that things were going well, and I was like, yeah, like, I'm going to see him again. It's not going to be like a one-time thing, which is fine. It is what it is. But I'm just like, I don't know. Am I being an idiot? Am I overreacting? Like, is that not that deep, considering it's only there? Like, I don't know. Like, even if my friends come to my house, most of the time I walk them to the station. Like, and it was, I don't think it was dark. It wasn't dark, but it was like nearly 8, 9 o'clock at night. It was getting late, which is why I was like, oh, I gotta go, because it takes me like an hour to get home from him. So I don't know. Tell me if I'm overreacting.
What an idiot. You're not a friend, right? Not a friend. You're not even like an acquaintance. Again, you're a dirty 304. You choose to do that. Is it that hard to figure out? And this woman, guys, she's up in her 20s. She will expect, with all her audacity, she will expect for a man to step in and provide for her and take care of her and view her as something more than what she is, which is, again, an S3X toy. She will expect that. Isn't that crazy? You don't get that. You don't get that. You've made your choices. Deal with them. Once a 304, always a 304, guys. Once you go for the one-night stand, the random hookups with literal strangers, that's what you get. That's what you end for your whole life. You're gonna be that, right? But now, guys, it's on God to forgive them. I'm not judging these women. It's on God to forgive them. But I'll tell you what, it's definitely not on you to save them, right? You can forgive them. Which, again, you're not here to judge. You're no one to judge these women, and I'm not judging them. So you're not here to judge. You can maybe forgive them. Maybe if you're their father, you know, maybe if you are like their brother or something, you can forgive them. But you're not here to save them. Let them deal with their own consequences. But now, guys, let's move on to a story I found quite hilarious.
My husband literally named our daughter after a OF creator. Now, mind you, I am just finding out about Sophie Rain. Now, when I was pregnant and he brought up the name Sophie Rain, I never asked him where it came from because I thought it was super cute. Sophie Rain, okay? I never once thought about looking the name Sophie Rain up to see who, you know, I just never thought. I just thought maybe it's somebody in his family or he just liked the name. Well, I was just scrolling TikTok and Sophie Rain pops up. And this young girl doing this really cutesy dance. So I do some more digging. I go on my husband's phone. He is subbing to these very inappropriate pictures, okay? Not like so inappropriate, you know what I mean? But inappropriate because he's 53 years old. He's 50.
Holy crap, guys, you weren't watching this woman. So sorry. The editor is on a summer break, guys, and he's not doing his job. Sorry, you could not see this woman. My hell. Apologies for that.
3 years old. How old is Soapy Rain? 1920? What do I do? Should I be creeped out? Because I am creeped out. I'm gonna go to the courthouse and change my daughter's name now. This is weird. I don't even want to call her Soapy. What?
Project Sophie Rain is crazy, guys. This dude. Bad decision, right? I'm not incentivizing men to name their daughters after OnlyFans creators, but my hell, guys, what world are we living in? But now, let's move on to the last one, guys, which is a young, attractive woman complaining about dating apps. Yes, you heard it right. Let's listen to her problems, guys.
Another thing that I've noticed on dating apps is that people feel so entitled to someone's time. Like, I don't have to reply to you straight away. I don't have to reply within even 24 hours. But some guys would just unmatch you after 24 hours. Oh, okay, princess, okay. Well, maybe I didn't want to reply. But maybe I needed a bit more time. Maybe something happened. Maybe I'm busy as well. Yeah, women are busy nowadays too. So strange. And
Nothing happened, guys. These women are not working, building rocket ships. These girlies, guys, spend like 12 hours a day on the phone, right? I had no time. Oh, you sure did for chat though, right? When there is that very attractive guys, oh, they sure find time. But if you're an average guy, you're not entitled to my time. Yeah, it's right. You're not entitled to our attention though. So can men, for the love of God, just stop giving attention to these women? They don't deserve it, my hell. I wish if I had the power, guys, I will just force all men to not give attention to these women. And what will happen is they will start sobbing. Where is my attention? And 2 days later, they'll be finding time to reply to all those DMs they have, right? In 2 days' time, they'll be crawling back like pathetic little cockroaches to men because they can't live without the attention. But now, in their place of privilege, in their altar almighty of receiving so much attention, they're like, you're not entitled to my time. My hell. Okay, let's continue.
this one guy literally called me a loser because I said goodnight. He already said goodnight before me. And then we started chatting again because he asked if everything is okay because I replied just good night to his message. I'm like, what? Are you serious right now? And then he called me a loser because I said good night again. So weird. And he called me stubborn as well. There was a first chat with him as well. And I'm like 29 years old and behaving like this. Honestly, this generation, hilarious.
Yeah, guys, this generation of men, just where do I start, right? Where do I start? You're a loser, in fact. Yes, you are. You're a spoiled, ungrateful, annoying brat. What you are. These women are so insufferable, guys. They really are. They're so used to the attention. They're not even human anymore. Like, they simply don't live in the same reality as we do. And if we switch places, which is my second wish, if I had a genie, first wish, men don't pay attention to women anymore. Second wish, women to be put in the place of men for just one day. Just one day will be my dream of my life, my aspiration, guys. These women to see how shitty it is to date as a man. Right? I will love that. My hell will I love that. for them to have to come up with the interesting conversations, for them to have to come up with being 6'5" tall and a millionaire to even have a chance, right? For them to have to go through dozens and hundreds and thousands and billions of ghosting, bailing, and she switched you for someone better, and you're not entertaining her anymore, so get the hell out of here. All the dates you pay and you don't get anything in return because they're just there to milk you dry. I would love for women to go through that, guys. Hey, if reincarnation is true, that's one good thing. I hope these women get born in a male body and have at it. See how the game works. But I'm going to finish with this thought, guys. Can somebody explain to me what is a young, attractive woman doing on a dating app? Can somebody riddle me that one out? I can guarantee you this woman is getting hundreds of options without even having to be on a dating app. Like in real life, dozens. On her Facebook, hundreds. On her Instagram, thousands of options. Why do you need dating apps? It's just for attention. That's why they're there. They're not looking for anything. Hey, maybe if we get a chat, yes, we'll allow him to absolutely tear us a new one open. But if it's not chat, it's just free attention. Hell yeah. A lot of guys, oh, all these likes, all these matches, and men trying to impress me. That's what you have for these women, guys. You're just an option. You're just part of their little farm where they go for attention. That's what she's doing there. There's no other reason for her to be there. It's not due to a lack of options. Now, guys, let's move on to our article. I lost $120 trying to impress a girl. Hanging out with this girl after a party, little buzzed, vibes are good. We're chilling, just talking, messing around with our phones, and she catches me checking scores for some bets I had going. Naturally, I start talking like I actually know what I'm doing, like I'm some low-key sharp or whatever. She's genuinely curious, starts asking questions, then she hits me with the, why don't you place one now so I can see how it works? And me, in all my slightly intoxicated glory, think this is my moment to shine. So I threw $120 on a late game. Didn't even blink. Tried to act like, oh yeah, just a quick play, nothing serious. I was 100% trying to look cool, like I do this all the time and never sweat it. Game starts going sideways halfway through the third. You ever try to play off a bad beat while pretending you're not watching the score every 8 seconds? Brutal. I'm sitting there like, yeah, it's just for fun, while quietly dying inside. She didn't even ask who I picked, just goes, so do you win a lot? And starts talking about something else like I didn't just light $120 on fire. Thankfully, I had a few earlier bets hit 3 out of 4 on the day, so I wasn't totally wrecked, but still, that was peak dump guy energy. Anyway, more of the story is don't try to impress someone with your bankroll, especially if you're tipsy and your pick is the kind of team that forgets how to play defense after halftime. But that ends the article, and look, I think we've all done this, right? We've all tried to impress women in stupid manners. We like get competitive or trying to act cool. I did that in my cringe era that is now long behind my back, but I think we've all been through that. And hey, if you're still young, don't. Is the advice here. It's like a core memory, you know, it's like an unskippable ad. You have to go through it. You have to make this dumb decision in your life, right? But hey, if you can avoid it, all the better. But gentlemen, we'll be leaving it off here. If you have the balls and the energy and the willingness, why don't you write me a comment about how you tried to impress a woman and it went sideways. Let me know. But now, guys, I'll be leaving it off here, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.